everyone. It's your girl, Naya, aka Princess Naya, and we're here with a brand new podcast. Tired Ass Mum presents Can I Shit in Peace? And I think that is going to be the first question that I ask our fabulous guest, Miss Nadia. Welcome, and thank you so much for taking some time out today of your busy schedule to come and talk to me.
Thank you for having
really
us.
excited to have you here.
Thank you.
I won't sing all of your praises too quick. But what we're going to do before we get started and we get in and we start talking about the topic today, I want to set the tone. And what we're going to do is I'm going to get this glass. And in this glass is loads of different scrolls, and they have different drinks on them. So whatever drink you pull is a drink we both have to drink now.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
And I know it's early in the morning.
Yeah.
And
it's fine.
there are some real beverages on here. So here, have a go. I feel like we need a drum roll now.
Oh, for God's sake, a shot.
Oh my gosh, please let's show the camera this and see if it's really real. I can't, honestly.
Great.
Okay.
Great.
Well, the shot of choice today is vodka, and I know you can do some vodka.
Oh, I can do some vodka. I'll do it.
Especially when you've got a couple of kids, I think vodka is probably
need
the
it.
norm.
We need
It is the norm. Okay, so why prepares the shots for us? I just want to get started really. I just want to talk to you. I know you're a business owner, you're a wife, you're a mother, and I think that there's a lot of attention that gets put on working mums, and there's a big stigma around the feeling of neglect when you leave your kids.
Yeah.
And at the same time, for stay-at-home mums, there's a massive conspiracy that stay-at-home mums don't do anything, and I don't agree with that. What do you think?
No, I don't agree with that.
Oh wait, we're here. The shots are here.
Okay.
I'm very scared about this.
Let's do this first.
Are you sure? Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers to staying sober. Yeah, you're a professional.
Okay. Right.
So yeah, what do you think?
So no, I think it's really unfair for people to say that stay-at-home mums are sort of,
Not doing anything.
not doing much. I feel like it's a really hard job. And when you're a stay-at-home mum, it's 10 times worse because you don't get to kind of go out and mingle with other people and talk to other people, have a coffee with someone. You're at home. I did the stay-at-home mum.
Did you?
I did do the stay-at-home mum for 3 months when my first was born, and I daily wanted to kill myself. Because you're literally
funny, but it's really not.
because you're literally like, get up, deal with the baby, go food shopping, cook dinner. You kind of prepare this house for this man to come home and then still look at you in a way where, you're not good enough or you haven't done good enough because the washing isn't completely done or the iron is not done or the baby's still crying or whatever. So I found that job a lot harder than what I'm finding now.
Okay, yeah,
I prefer to be at work.
Yeah, I think that for me, when I had Kizzy, I kind of went straight back to work a little bit. So I didn't really have a full-fledged time of not being at work. And I think that if I didn't have that outlet, I probably could have been a lot more low on certain times than I actually was.
Yeah.
Because I feel like even just being through like COVID and being at home all day long, I'm thinking if she was much younger and I'm at home all day long by myself, it's like no one sees that. It's like the hamster wheel of the house. Like you tidy up and you clean and you wipe down after breakfast and then boom, lunch happens. Shroom, the house is a mess again. Yeah. Then you tidy up again, and then it's again, and then it's dinner time. And then you're thinking, but I've already tidied up 3 times already today.
Yeah, my hands are hurting from washing up so much. But when they used to say that phrase of a woman's work is never done or whatever it is. I never used to get it, but I so get it now because no matter what I've done, there's always more to crack on with. There's always more to do. There's always something that I haven't done. Yeah. And I cannot catch up. I'm constantly playing this game where it's catch up.
You know what's really funny is like obviously you've been trialing out a service of mine, the TAM assistant. Yeah. And you actually tried it out before I tried it out. and some other people, I sent it out. I didn't actually trial it myself in the first instance. Yeah. And I've just done my first week's trial. And the woman's work is never done thing, it really rings true because the TAM assistant's been great. She's really taken on a lot of stuff that I haven't had managed time to do. Yeah. But I still feel like there's still so much stuff that needs to get done.
But I think if I had that assistant for a month, it wouldn't be enough. Yeah. It's constant. Like there's so many things. When she left, I was like, I could have got this done. I could have got that done. I could have got this done. So it is constant. I don't think it will ever. I don't think you can ever get to the stage where you're like, I've got nothing to do.
So do you think that it's because as a mum you kind of notice everything more than what dad notices in the household?
I think dads get it easy. I think they come in And yes, some dads might help with the cooking, or might stick a wash on, or might bath the kids, whatever.
Yeah.
But actually, the main thing about being a mum is that is something that they'll never get, they'll never understand. Like, if a child is sick, automatically my day is off.
Yeah,
That's
100%.
it. I'm done. I'm. Whereas he would never think like that. He would never think, he'd be like, oh, it's all right, take him to school.
Yeah, but it's the same with holidays, isn't
Right.
it? When it's holidays, it's like, okay, so all right, see ya. But it's like,
Yeah.
hey, hold on.
Yeah, come back. But they will never think like we do. They're not built to think like we
Yeah.
do. So they get it. They kind of do like the main sort of things that are obvious, and then they'll be like, well, I've done this or I've done that. And it's not the same at all.
Okay, I hear you. Well, do you know what? I think that one of my biggest things that I struggle with is just the having the initiative. Like, I think initiative is really, really big to me.
Yeah.
And when you look at someone and think, why don't you have the initiative to think like how I think? I think it's just a bit unfair.
Yeah.
It's unfair to dad,
Yeah.
but at the same time, it's still unfair to mum. So like, why should mum have to think of absolutely
He
everything?
never needs to leave the house and write notes all over the house to tell me what to do.
Yeah,
He never needs to write anything on the fridge. It's just, no, never. It just would never happen. Whereas for me, if I leave and I know I'm not coming back, you know, past the kids coming home or whatever, it's literally like fridge, calendar, take them here, this is what they need to do, this is what needs to eat, whatever, there's for the food, get the thing out the freezer.
Yeah.
It's
like
a constant
it's like mum's oracle.
Yeah. And he wouldn't be able to do that.
Yeah.
There's just two totally different.
Okay, but it's funny you say that, right? Because last year I done a survey and I sent it out to dads and I sent it out to mums, right? And I think you done a survey. I can't remember. I'm sure you've done a survey.
Possibly.
But basically, it was just asking questions about the kids and who does what, etc. And mum's answers and dad's answers for people, like literally couples, was so far different.
Yeah,
it's
I
like
bet.
man perceives he's doing the most.
Yeah.
And woman perceives you are not doing shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like, even if they're doing some, it's just not the same amount.
No,
like, it's not.
But they will, like, if you go to my husband now and ask him what's going on here, he'll be like, you know, I've got a job, she's got a job, and then we're 50-50. We're not
Okay, but it doesn't work
50-50.
like
There's
that.
no way we're 50-50. Like, in my head, we are 85-15. But it's mad to sit down and talk to him and think that he's 50-50.
And do you know what I think? I think if you did try to broach that conversation, it kind of seems like they would feel like they think that they don't love their kids as much as you love them because you're splitting the time like that. When it's not that. It's not like you're not a good dad.
No.
It's not that you're not here. It's not like you do nothing. It's just that in an ideal modern world, the weighing scales need to be tipped a little bit more fairly.
He does a lot. For a man, he does do it. Like, you know, I look at my friends' partners and stuff, and I'm like, okay, at least my one can cook.
But hold on a second. But then this is the argument I have, right? Because I think, okay, yeah, that's great. You can compare yourself to someone who's doing nothing. But let's compare you to Barack Obama then. How little are you doing? Do you know what I mean? I think it just depends. It depends who you're.
It depends.
Yeah, because
but he will choose people that he knows he's going to win over.
Oh, okay.
And be like, oh,
well,
look at this, and then I'm like, yeah, okay. The best out of a bad bunch in my eyes. But you're still not quite there. You're not quite there. But yeah, he'll just compare himself to him, and he'll constantly be like, well, you know, blah doesn't do this, da doesn't do that, and I do all of these things. But it's still minuscule.
Yeah, I feel like it is minuscule. But I think that there is hope. I think there must be some type of solution out there that helps just update the dynamic of what a relationship looks like when you're married and you have children, or if you're just together with someone and have children. Because I think that we've all grown up with this. The mums stay at home and they survive at home.
That's how I grew up.
Yeah, and dad goes out and is a breadwinner. Yeah. And in this day and age, even if some people can't afford to do that, but even if you could afford to do that, women nowadays, they don't want to do that. No. And I feel like that's okay. Yeah. But there needs to be some type of, I don't know. There just needs to be something. Like, even when you said about the Post-it notes and all of that, that's just long. It's like, why should you have to do that in real life?
Because otherwise, I know the children. I mean, I came home the other day, for example, and he was sitting there with his friend, and it was 4:00. And then I said, hi, kids. And then I said hi. He was sitting with his friend. I said hi to his friend. And I said, what did you guys have for lunch? And I just saw my husband's face drop. And I was like,
they need to eat.
And I was like, tell me you fed them lunch. And his friend just started laughing. I was like, it's 4:00. Tell me they've eaten. And she was like, yeah, I found a packet of crisps. Yeah. And basically she'd just gone around the house on a scavenger hunt and found whatever she could, but there was no lunch. He forgot.
Okay.
You can't rely on a man like you can rely on a mum.
But do you think that is like just maternal instinct?
Yeah, it has to be. What else could it be?
Yeah,
it's not coincidental
yeah,
that every woman feels like this.
Yeah, it's true. And I think as well, it's like, yeah, it's, as you said, it's like you don't want to be like you do nothing, but it's like they just don't, they're just not thinking of that.
No, there's no there's like, I will wake up in the morning and he's like, I don't tell you to do anything. You tell me to do all these things. You write down all these lists. And I was like, you don't need to tell me to do anything.
Yeah, because you know,
because I know what I'm doing.
It's
and I wake up and
done.
I crack on with, I've been up since 4 a.m. this morning, cracking on with how, because if I don't wake up at that time and I don't start at that time, it will never get done. Because if I do want to go to work and I do want to do what I need to do, that's the only time I can kind of see how it would work. But you don't need to tell me. Yeah. I need to constantly tell you.
Yeah, it's wild. It's wild. It's very wild. I just thought, do you know what it's like before Kizzy was born, I feel like me and Dean had a great synergy. And then as soon as she was born, it just changed. And it wasn't like negatively changed, but it just was like, I don't get this. I don't understand how you're asking me questions about a little small person. That why would I know over you when you was here since she was born as well? And
you know her just as well as I do.
Yeah, you know her probably even better. So I just couldn't. I didn't get it. And I think like after now she's 4.5. I feel like I'm such a new parent. It's like I really enjoy talking to other people and understanding what works for them, what doesn't work for them, what is, as you said, the best of the bad bunch, and what is you're actually really making a really good move here. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
And I think that something that we don't allow ourselves a lot of the time is just extra help. And like having like an assistant or having a cleaner or having a cook. And I think all of those things sound really luxurious and like, oh, what, you've got a cleaner. And it's like, no, I just don't want to live in a shithole, because if I didn't have this help, you might come and see a lot of dust over a lot of the house, because you just physically don't have the time to attend to everything.
And the thing is you almost have to validate it in your head, like, oh, do I really need this? And you kind of think like, oh, I'm spending money that could be going towards my child and whatever. But for happiness and for yourself, for sanity, for happiness, for you to be able to float above water, sometimes you just kind of need to.
So would that be your advice then? To if you were speaking to a mum that was struggling and she's like say setting up her own business, her partner's out working all the time, she's just trying to, got a young child, what advice would you give them in terms of
get help? 100% get help. If I had to sell my shoes for the help, I would do that, because I feel like that is more important for me than anything else. So I would 100% choose that over anything. And for me, it's not a luxury. For me, it's just a necessity.
Are you the type of mum that hires a cleaner and then cleans before they come? Because I know women like this. See, I knew you was going to say
yes,
that.
I am. Because they don't know. They won't know what to do. Okay. And my husband thinks I'm a psycho too, because I'd be like, I need to clean. She's coming in 2 hours. And he's like, but she's coming to clean. And I'm like, yeah, but she won't know what to do with this and that and whatever. So I will kind of clean, and then I kind of just expect them to do like the hard duty stuff, the heavy, the deep cleaning and the scrubbing off the baths. That's what I hate doing, and the showers and that sort of stuff. But otherwise, I am definitely that person.
Yeah, see, I'm definitely not. I booked a cleaner and she comes to the house and she said, no, you did not tell me deep clean. You just said clean. I was like, okay, what was it? I don't mind. I'll pay extra. It's deep clean. I did not do nothing. I did not wipe down one side. I thought, no, I'm not doing it. But I think that it's just a certain amount of feeling. You don't want to be judged by someone when they come in and they think, hey, your house is disgusting. It's like,
I do. I'll get embarrassed. If, like, the other day I was tidying up and Fadi was like, why are you doing that? And I was like, oh, my cousin's coming over. She's like a 17-year-old. She's just coming to babysit. And he's like, are you serious? And I was like, I can't.
But I think that's mother's pride, though.
Yeah. It has to be.
Yeah, you just want everything to look and feel good. Yeah. Right, well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to dive into the bag. We've got a bag of topics that I don't even know what they are.
Okay.
So let me have a look. Well, actually, maybe you should pick. I know you pick the drink.
I pick the drink.
I'm so greedy. Do you know what I mean? I want to be involved. I don't want to be left out. I'm very scared about this. Okay. Ooh. Oh, this is very sweet. It's a bit too sweet for this podcast, to be honest, but we'll go for it.
Okay.
What is the most endearing thing your kids have done for you?
Bloody hell.
The podcast is called Can I Shit in Peace? We don't talk about endearing stuff.
I was going to say.
But it's a nice change.
It is a nice change. What is this? Oh. That's thrown me. I'm going to be honest.
That's what I mean. That's what I said. It's not really the tone of today, but they're quite young.
They're very young. So there's apart from like being caring if I'm sick or whatever, there's not much they have got to show me yet. They haven't really got to show me that side of them as much. But yeah, if their dad is being rude,
do they defend you?
They defend me, and they don't talk to my mum like that. You get out and that sort of stuff. That's quite sweet.
Do you think all kids do that?
I don't know.
Because Kizzy does that. Does she? Yeah, she will. Yeah, she goes for Dean's juggler. She's like,
do you know what? I think it might be girls. I think it might be girls.
It might be girls.
I don't know if a boy, because Adam kind of stays back a little bit, whereas she will get really involved and be like, don't speak to my mum like that. You watch your mouth.
The worst one for me, though, is when everything's cool, we're in a really good space, and then you'll hear Kizzy say, Daddy, you've left your shoes downstairs. Mummy don't like it. Pick up your shoes. And I'm like, not now. We're not beefing right now. It's okay. She was like telling him off.
A bad tone.
Yeah, she's like telling him off. And I'm like, oh, God, is that what I sound like? I'm thinking, do I sound like that? Like, it's absolutely wild. Kids are wild. Yeah. Like, I never actually thought of myself of having kids. Wasn't like one of my master plans. I was just happy to try and be this flamboyant businesswoman and recording artist. So when I did have Kizzy, I thought, oh, this is going to be a breeze. How hard can it be? Like, I've run a company for a decade.
Were you in a first shot?
Oh, yeah, listen, I was like, it was easy. I've stayed up all night working on my website. I could stay up all night with a kid. And then when she came, I was like, oh, goddamn, help me, please. What's happening to me? Can someone explain this shit? Like, seriously. And I think from then on, any of my friends or anyone that I know is going to have a baby, I send them this picture. I've got a picture I stored in my phone in my favourites of Kizzy with the shittiest nappy you've ever seen. And like, when it goes everywhere, and I'm like, congratulations. And I send that picture and say, this is what you got to look forward to. Yeah. Everyone makes it look all nice and pretty on Instagram, but having a child is hard work.
It's not a joke by any.
And do you know what I think is hard? I find really hard. It's like everyone talks about this mum guilt stuff, and it's like, do I have mum guilt? And then it's like, yeah, I do for like 6 seconds. Yeah. And then she comes home and I'm like, oh, God, I'm over go back to your nan.
Yeah.
Seriously.
I'm the same.
And then I feel like, am I just a dragon? Because I love her. And then I'm like, okay, but...
I'm the same. I'm like, I miss them. I want to go back. No, I'm going to leave. No, I'm going to leave early.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to go back to them. And then they get back there and you're like, why didn't I stay for that extra shot?
Yeah, it's wild.
But yeah, but you do. I think as a working mum, you get mum guilt. I guess the stay-at-home mums, they don't have to go through that because you're with them all the time. They kind of want an escape.
Instead of mum guilt, they probably have personal growth guilt. Yeah. Because obviously, I know for a lot of entrepreneurial women and women at work, they take pride in being a business person or working and just having your own and that independence and the feeling of feeling like you're on holiday. Because as you leave and close that door and the kids
it is
are
a holiday. You
it's
get
like,
a coffee, you get to the toilet, all of these things.
I think that, do you know what I mean? But then obviously there's a sacrifice whatever way you look at it. So it doesn't matter. Even if you feel like you have mum guilt, I probably think that the idea is that you have to tell yourself whatever step forward you take in life, there's always going to be some type of guilt that you have for something because you can't please everybody.
No, absolutely not. But I mean, because I've done both sides, I know which one I prefer, and it's definitely going to work 100%.
Because I think in now, especially in London, the prices are so high. I know parents that are spending like a monthly wage on nursery fees and stuff, and it's like, why would you bother? And then it's like, because I want my brain to be stimulated and to be able to. Do you know what I mean?
My friend, she was basically £20 better off once she put £20 a month better off. Once she put her child into nursery, you know this person as well. Once she put her child into nursery, she was £20 a month better off. So I was like, why are you doing 40 hours a week if you're £20 better off? Are you crazy? And she was like, it's the best £20 I'll ever make. Like, I need that £20.
But I get it. I
need that £20. It's not about the money. It's about being able to drop him to nursery and just go and crack on with my day and like see people and talk to people. And for her, it wasn't the money. It was just to get out there and stimulate her brain and
just remember who you are.
Yeah, because she was coming around to me at one point and she was almost talking like, do you want spaghetti? And I was like, I'm an adult. But she got so engrossed in that whole baby world that she would be talking to you like, and she's like, and I'm like, what are you doing?
This is full-time gig.
Yeah, because it was literally, and she was like, oh, I need to exercise my brain. I've gone. And that's when she went back to work and she was literally doing 40 hours a week, taking a lot of shit from a lot of people, but it was still way better for her.
It's still worth it.
Well, it's still worth it.
And I think it's probably down to personal choices and what your own, do you know what I mean? Like what your own goals are and what it makes you to be happy. Because I think sometimes women have children and then it's like, it's just all about the kids.
Yeah.
And then there's not a chance for them to have a moment about them anymore.
Yeah.
And then by the time they figure out, oh, do you know what? I actually do want to do it. It just becomes a little bit late for them. And then they're like, I'm older now. I can't be bothered.
Yeah.
You know, so what advice would you give to someone that is probably, their kids are a lot older. They may be like 15, 16. They dedicated their time to their kids, and now they're at a point where they're realizing or just watching, hold on a second, it's going to be college union and their kids are going to be out. What advice would you give someone in that position in taking steps to regaining some type of life for self?
I mean, I know quite a few people who are going through this now. So their kids have now hit 13, 14, even though that's not college years. It's still independence.
It is, and they don't want to hang out with
They
you
don't want to
anymore.
hang out with them. They're in their bedrooms. If they're not in their bedrooms, they want to be at their friend's house. And she now has sort of lost herself, and she's like, I stopped my life. She had a really good job before she had babies, and she stopped her life, and her husband cracked on with his. And he's like really successful in what he does now and whatever. And he's just grown from strength to strength. And she's now feeling like that. She's like, I just feel worthless. I feel like I wake up and I do nothing now. She's like, okay, they might need me to almost just have a sandwich because they don't even like eating food anymore. They're at that age. And she's like, they don't appreciate anything anymore. And they're literally like, oh, just a sandwich or just a packet of crisps. So she's like, it's not even like I can cook for them anymore and sort of get pride out of that.
It's like you've been fired.
Yeah, exactly. And she's like, I feel like I'm doing nothing. I feel like my husband's lost respect for me because he's like, if they're having a question or they're having a chat or there's something on the news and he doesn't respect her opinion anymore because he feels like you're just a stay-at-home mum.
You don't know anything.
Shut up. Don't get involved with the politics. It's for clever people.
Oh,
That's basically what he said to her. And they have arguments about this all the time. And she's like, right, then I'm ready to go out and work. I want to go and work. Well, no, you can't, because he's so used to her being at home now. And he's so used to coming home and having dinner cooked and whatever it is that he likes her to sit at home for. And he's struggling with the idea of her going out and finding this new life.
But maybe I think sometimes what happens is that, especially not even just men, but the idea of change for people after so long can be really, really daunting.
Scary.
Yeah. And it's like maybe it's not that he doesn't respect her, more so that he's just fearful that her finding her wings to fly is going to change the dynamic so much that he's just not going to be comfortable anymore. She's not going to be the same person.
Yeah, it's I think it's more his insecurity.
Yeah, and then the woman has to deal with it.
Yeah, but she is in this situation where she's like, I don't know which way to turn, because I want to tell him that actually I'm entitled to this. You've had it this whole time. I stopped it for the kids. And now the kids don't need me anymore. This is what I want to go back to. But at the same time, she doesn't want to kind of ruin what they have in their marriage and sort of mess up that flow. So, I mean, I would personally, I've said to her, if I was you, I would find something that I'm really passionate about and maybe start it on a really small scale and start it at home. And so you're not going into, it's not full hog in an office, 40 hours a week, that sort of thing. Maybe start small and kind of build it up that way. And then it becomes more of a natural thing and he's maybe becomes more accepting to it.
Yeah, and do you know what happens as well? It's like by feeding it smally, by feeding it small, what happens is that if she's feeding a passion that she's really enjoying, she'll become a happier person.
Yeah.
And then by the nature of the law of the world, he should then see, wow, she's actually way happier, because you just naturally change when you're buzzing about things. You know, when you're working on your business or something, and then something happens and you go home and oh my god, guess what happened today? Like this. And no. It's like
chat. You've got something to talk about.
It's really, really exciting.
And that's another thing with the help. I mean, before I feel like my husband was like, you need help, kind of thing, like kind of thing. Whereas he's now realised if she has help, she's a happier person. We're going to have a better weekend. We're going to have a nicer evening.
Happy wife.
Because I come home and if everything's done and I feel like we are where we need to be, that, you know, we've tackled dinner together. I've had someone over to help me clean. You know, everything's all sorted. We have a better time together, and there's much less arguments.
Yeah.
If I have help. If I don't have help, I'm going to be at him.
Yeah.
So he's literally like, get the help, get everyone
in.
It's worth it. Get the team in.
It is, because when you think about it, in relationships, when you meet someone and you fall in love and you're together and everything's great, the things that you argue about are not really characteristics of the individual. It's characteristics of what happens in that house.
Right.
Yeah, and like characteristics of why are you leaving your shoes down here and why is there so much? Why haven't you put your clothes? My thing is putting the clothes away.
Yeah.
I've
towels
done
on the
washing.
bed, towels on the floor,
Yeah,
all
nothing,
of that sort
and
of
nothing
stuff.
works. All my systems, I've tried everything. I've tried not doing any washing. I've only washed my clothes. I've only washed the kids, like Kizzy's clothes.
If it's not in the basket,
if it's not in the basket, it's not getting washed. And then I said, all right, okay, this is getting ridiculous because there was 2 washing baskets full of his washing alone. I said, all right, listen, I'll wash all your clothes. We've put them all away. I've washed all the clothes in like 48 hours. Not one thing has been put away. And it's like, but this is so frustrating for me. And then I feel like, but why is it so frustrating for me? Why do I care that much? And it's like, because I just want everything to be tidy.
Well,
like,
you almost see it as disrespectful. You're like, because you're like, hold on a second. You work, I work. Why is it okay for you not to pick up your duties in the house? And why is it looked at like it's my duty? It's not my duty.
Yeah, it's ours.
Like he'll come and say to me like, oh, you didn't say thank you. And I'm like, thank you for what? He goes, you didn't say thank you. I cleaned the kitchen. You didn't even notice. I clean the kitchen 15 times a day. Have you ever said thank you? Like, so yeah, it's, and I'm sure most women go through that. Like, I think it's a standard thing. Like Dean would probably expect you to say thank you if he hoovers the stairs or does anything. He turns into Superman.
Yeah, it's 100%. And I think with Dean, he does a lot of the cooking. Well, he does all of the cooking.
Actually,
and because he does all of the cooking, but I do all of the cooking.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I know, but it's just okay. But all right, I hear you. But there's just so much other stuff that still needs to get on. And like, even like really, I'm so petty. It's like, I feel like I put away the laundry for the house. It's like, the duvets that need washing, towels, all that boring shit. And then I sort out all of Kizzy's stuff. And then I do all of mine. So me asking you just to put your own clothes away, I don't think it's that big a task. But it just is. I don't know what it is. It just really is.
No,
it's always and then I go up and I folded everything and I see him go running through, like looking for stuff, going through the pile. And I'm like, I just walk away, Naya. Walk away. Just walk away.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's crazy. I just think that after you kind of have to work out what solutions work best for the individual because everybody is completely different. And I think people that want to get back into work that haven't been in work after like a lengthy period of time, just find something that you love.
Yeah.
That you can fall in love with so that shows in your actions towards it. Because as you said, once you're happy and the household picks up on that, like, because if mum's vexed, the house is it's a whole it's a movie in the house. Do you know what I mean? And then your kids are feeding off of it, and then it's like everyone's stepping on eggshells, and then it's like more now, and it's turning up even more now because I'm fully invested in this. Like, so I think that the idea of trying to make yourself happy at any cost is really, really, really important.
Yeah, totally.
You know, like I really do. So let's talk about. Okay, so you're a businesswoman, Nadia. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you tell us about your blow bars. Bars. So
I have 2 salons, one in Chiswick and one in Ealing, and I'm trying to think. I think there's 25 of us in total now.
Wow, that's amazing.
Over both branches. So very busy. So,
and do you know something is really high was really when I first heard about Blow, the thing that stuck out for me the most was the creches that you have in the
obviously our creches have been out of use at the moment because of COVID. But yeah, I think we were one of the first to do a salon with a creche, so that mummies can come and have the time chill out time whilst their baby's being looked after. And what I found was Adam was a year and a half when I decided to go with this. And it was because anytime I went to a salon when I first had Adam, I would walk in and they'd be like, the baby, you know, and I'd be like, oh, sorry. Like 1 second, I just need to breastfeed for a second. And I'd be like doing a nail here and a nail there. And I just need to, and they really weren't accommodating. They were actually really rude about it. And they'd be like, can you move your pram? It's health and safety. Can you do everything was annoying. Oh, is he going to stop crying? So I was like, saying to my husband, I was like, I'm not comfortable going to these places anymore. I feel like someone needs to come to the house because it's such a big problem every time I go out, which is when Blow Bar was born. And so many mums came, I think on the day that we opened, whatever, the outside was absolutely packed with prams. And I was like, everyone feels like this.
Yeah, they do.
Like, it really...
It is. When I bought, I think Kizzy was about 1.5 or maybe 2 when I came and I went to the Ealing branch. I went to get pedicure and nails and stuff. And the team there was just so amazing. Like, I don't really like leaving Kizzy with anybody, but they just was all lovely. Everyone they loved on the kids. And I'm not a massive kid lover, I'll be honest. Like, I'm like, ugh, child's party. Oh, God, really? Can't think of anything worse. So to walk into an atmosphere where everyone's just like, and she had a great time. She's in there playing with the toys and I was able to just, do you know what I mean? It was just really, really good. It's such a cool concept.
We had this one woman that came in. She used to come in for everything. And then one day she came in and I was like, you've had your nails done, you've had your hair done. What the hell are you here for now? And she was like, I don't need anything done, but do you mind if I just sit down and have a coffee and take the baby downstairs? I just need a break. And I was like, oh, blood, this woman's in bits. So I was like, yeah, absolutely. So we took the baby downstairs and she sat upstairs. A lot of mums feel like, especially when their babies are really young, they can't just leave them with, you know, because we're not really like, you know, a nursery that's got all these certificates to say that we can. So I knew that a lot of mums would feel like that. So we got iPads that connected to the creche so that they could watch their child while they were having their hair done. She obviously wasn't interested in that, but you know,
she sounds like me. Take the kid.
Like, but loads of other mums were asking for that, and they'd kind of stick the iPad in front of them, have their hair done, and feel comfortable that their child is fine. They saw their child crying, they'd kind of go downstairs or say it's fine, let her cry it out. You know, the worst thing is when I used to drop Adam somewhere, like Virgin Active, when I used to go there. And I'd come downstairs and I'd see he's in bits and I'd be like, how long's he been crying for?
Yeah.
And I'd find out he'd been crying the whole time. Why don't you call me?
Yeah.
It's my decision. Yeah. It's not yours. It's mine. I would have left the gym. So with that, they could see, and if their child was crying and it was longer than 5-10 minutes,
then they could
just make the decision to go.
That's so amazing. Yeah, like seriously, I think that there's a lot of companies that could do with having a mother on their board, because there's a lot of things that you can implement that just make life easier. Yeah. You know, and there's just not a lot of help when you're trying to just, you know, go and get your nails done or anything like that. Do you know what I mean? So it's really, really amazing. Like, like a trendsetter, Nadia. So what do you think about when it comes to the children? Obviously, you're a businesswoman, your husband's a businessman. Money is, you know, flowing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
How do you think about your children's future? Like, what is it? How do you set them up so that they can be financially independent? What types of things do you do for your children? Like, I know a lot of people I've spoken to do savings. Yeah. But when I grew up, I was taught to save, but I was never taught anything about a credit card. I wasn't taught about investments. I wasn't taught about how to have your money make more money. It was just more get a job, save, and that was basically it. Yeah. And so
I think that's the advice I was given. Save 30% off. 30%, I think my dad used to tell me 30% off.
Yeah, my granddad told me to save half.
Oh,
that never happened.
My dad was more realistic. He was like, save 30% of everything. But with my kids, my number one thing is not to spoil them. Like, I don't care how much money I earn, I won't spoil them. Okay. They'll never be those children that, you know, everything's obtainable like that. Like, if you want something, you're going to have to work for it. And even now, if Adam wants to buy whatever that Fortnite thing is, credits on Fortnite, I don't know what it's called. I need credits to fight someone. Yeah. I'm like, you know, well, what are you going to do for it? Go and empty the dishwasher, empty, you know, the washing machine. He's better than his dad, honestly. He cracks on with it. It's like £2.50. So, and I sit there and I speak to him about the value of money and what it means and how he should be with money. So he's actually really, really good. Like, he will get given money for his birthday.
How old is Adam? Sorry, just
he's 10.
He's 10, okay.
But he will get birthday money, for example, and I'll say, what are you going to buy with it? And he'll say, nothing. I haven't made my mind up yet. I want to take my time because I don't want to make the wrong decision.
Oh my gosh.
So I'm already getting him into that flow where don't make stupid decisions like I used to do. Okay. I used to get paid and run to Gucci and then be like, shit, I'm broke for the rest of the month. So I'm training him not to be like how I was. Okay. And that's why I say to him, think about your investments, think about what you want to buy. Do you need it? Is it something that you can live without? Don't be sort of like, oh, I just want one, because, you know, are you actually going to use it and stuff like that? And I think it's actually working with him. Sophia hasn't started on yet. She's a bit too young. She doesn't even get it. She's like, oh, that's £20. And it's like £5.
Do you know what? But that's a really, really important lesson, because I was even talking, I had to tell my mum about this. And obviously my mum's a lot older than Adam. Yeah. And I was saying to her that before you buy stuff, just wait 24 hours. Yeah. Because have a think about it. Yeah. Said, because if 24 hours goes by and you really still want it, then okay, get it. But if it goes by...
It's the impulse buys.
She's an impulse buyer. Like, she called me, she said, you know, she's found these CBD gummies and they're endorsed by, I don't know, Bradley Walsh and all these other people. She was going on about it. I was like, all right, because I'm getting them for Nanny. She's gone. She's ordered these from some dodgy website. It was meant to be £28 and they debited her £198. And she's called me, they've scammed me. I said, but listen, if you'd have waited, and just
do your research,
do your research, then it wouldn't have happened, you know, like seriously. But I think we do as people, it's like we see, we want, and we just kind of go for it.
Yeah, and that's what I was worried about, because I think in my life, that's what's messed me up, is all the impulse buying that I've done. And I'm like, shit, I really didn't need that, or I will regret it instantly, but I've already opened it, or whatever it is. So that's my lessons to him. I teach him about that, and we've got him one of those Go Henry cards.
Okay.
So he's got it on his phone. He's got his app. He can see his savings, and I think he likes it. I think he enjoys it. He likes to watch it grow and not make stupid decisions, and he is really good, I must say.
And then what about, you was telling me about he's got an investment portfolio because his godmother buys him crypto.
Yes. Yeah. So my friend Natalie, she doesn't buy him birthday gifts anymore, because he's got to the age of 10 and it's really difficult to sort of decide what he wants. She buys him cryptocurrency every year for birthdays and Christmas.
That's so amazing.
So he's already got a portfolio of all this. I don't understand crypto at all.
But Adam will.
And it's the same for Sophia. She's already started to buy her stuff like that. And now all my other friends are jumping on it, saying like, oh, I'm just going to give, money towards the crypto. I'm going to give money towards the crypto. So he's like, what did I get for my birthday from Auntie Nat? And I'm like, cryptocurrency.
He's like, what? But when he gets older, he'll appreciate it.
Yeah, so I have started to explain it to him. I'm like, this is something, I'm trying to explain it from what I know of it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Nat will give you a lesson when she gets here. Yeah. So he is starting to understand it a little bit. But yeah, he's always like, have I got crypto?
Yeah. But I think do you know what? The great thing about that is that, you're setting him up for something that he'll understand. When he gets much older, he'll understand about, okay, I've got money, I've got gifts, and then I got investments.
Yeah.
And those investments will be the thing that when he gets older, he'll look back and be like, man, thank God for those investments. Because I see this meme going around and it says, oh, was it Auntie Shirley? Where are the £20 you used to give me when I was a kid? I really need it now. Like, when you're younger and you used to get 20 quid in your card, and then you get to 18 and the cards come and the money stops. It's like, I need it now more than ever. Why have you stopped this? So I think like it's just really, really impressive, man.
Yeah.
Seriously.
It's nice.
Yeah,
it's
really
nice. Cool. And I think it's going to be a way forward now anyway. I think like we've got too much. We're very spoiled in terms of, not me as in like life, like kids. When I was younger, I think I had about 3 or 4 Barbies. It didn't exceed that.
Yeah, and now it's like...
Now it's ridiculous. Now there's a Barbie that does everything.
Yeah, it's so true.
And, she's got to have the whole collection of the 35.
She's got like 10 houses, 3 cars.
She needs a van now.
She needs an aeroplane.
She's got
2 man.
She's aeroplane and a caravan and a holiday home and all this stuff. And it's like, it's ridiculous. Wild. It's too much.
It is. There's a lot. There's just so much. Even like now it's coming up to Christmas. I'm like, what do I get Kizzy? She's got everything. Like, what can I possibly... Like,
how much more dolls can fit in this house?
Exactly. And it's like you're clearing out to buy more stuff.
And they're not cheap.
They're not.
It's not cheap. It's like when you spend money, it makes me feel sick to think that what I used to buy Adam, because he was my first.
You go in.
I went absolutely in. So every week I'd be like, the Disney shop is more me. And I'd go like, he needs all these cars because he needs the collection. And the Lego and all the Lego sets. And Lego is wild in terms of how expensive that is. But now I'm like, okay, you can choose 2 things: something that you want and something that you need. Okay, that's your things. And they write it down, and that's what I'll get: something that he wants, something that he needs, and something that he can learn from.
Okay, that's amazing.
Yeah,
so I like that. Say it again. Say it one more time.
Something that he needs, something that he wants, and something that he can learn from.
Yeah, that's amazing.
So they're the 3 things that he has to put on his Christmas list, and then I'll choose.
That's amazing. Nadia, you're an amazing woman. Seriously. Every time I speak to you, you inspire me. I learn something every single time without you even probably knowing. So yeah, I just want to say thank you so much for coming to hang out with me today. Hopefully we'll get you back on again soon. Thank you to everyone who's listening today to the Can I Take... Actually, I didn't even ask you the question.
What was the question?
Nadia, in your household, can you take a shit in peace?
Absolutely not.
And
we don't do that, Naya.
We don't do that anymore. We don't do that. Anyway, thank you everyone for listening. I hope you enjoyed. And we'll see you again soon. Bye.